The research station felt cold and quiet. Kim Hye-jin's hands moved carefully across her digital screen, her alien eyes blinking with intense concentration. She was different from humans. Her skin had a slight silver blue tone, and her fingers were longer and more delicate. Dr. Park watched her from across the room. He knew something interesting was happening. The young alien researcher seemed more excited than usual. Her breathing changed. Her movements became faster. "Something interesting?" he asked. Hye-jin looked up. Her translator device converted her native language into perfect English. "I'm discovering something strange about human reproduction." Most alien species had strict reproduction rules. They could have babies only during specific times, like animals with mating seasons. But humans were completely different. She had been studying human medical records for weeks, thousands of documents, hundreds of genetic reports. Each page told her something new and shocking. Male humans could produce millions of reproductive cells every single day, not hundreds, not thousands, but millions continuously, without stopping, without any special conditions. Her research showed that a single human male could potentially create enough reproductive cells to start entire populations. On her planet, such capability would be considered magical. Here, humans called it normal. Dr. Park smiled. "We don't think it's special," he said simply. "It's just how our bodies work, but for Hye-jin it was special. Very special." She started collecting more data. Blood samples, genetic records, medical histories. Each result confirmed her initial findings. Humans could reproduce any time, anywhere, under any condition. No waiting for special planetary alignments, no complex biological triggers, no seasonal restrictions. Just pure, continuous reproductive potential. The research station's computers processed her data. Complex algorithms analyzed every single detail. Charts and graphs appeared showing human reproductive capabilities. The numbers were mind-blowing. Hye-jin's alien brain started understanding something revolutionary. Humans weren't just another species. They were a biological marvel, a reproductive system so adaptable that it could ensure species survival under extreme conditions. She imagined scenarios. What if a human population was almost destroyed? They could recover quickly. What if environmental conditions changed suddenly? Humans could adapt, reproduce, survive. Her preliminary research draft was taking shape. Human males demonstrate unprecedented, continuous reproductive potential, challenging fundamental understanding of biological reproduction across known galactic species. The words felt powerful. They would change scientific understanding forever. Dr. Park brought her coffee. Human coffee, a strange warm drink that seemed to help humans think better. "Want to discuss your findings?" he asked. Hye-jin nodded. Her antenna-like sensors twitched with excitement. She was about to explain something that would shock her entire scientific community. "On my planet," she began, "we can reproduce only during specific times. Controlled, careful, limited." She paused. "But humans, you can create life any time." "Doctor," Park laughed, "we just see it as normal." But for an alien researcher, it was anything but normal. The research station continued its quiet work. Complex machines hummed. Holographic displays flickered. And in the middle of it all, a young alien researcher was uncovering a biological secret that would change everything. Humans, always fertile, always ready. A reproductive system that defied all known scientific understanding. The first contact with this extraordinary biological capability had begun, and Hye-jin knew she was witnessing something truly remarkable. Her report would make history. Her research would challenge everything her species knew about reproduction, and all because of human males and their extraordinary continuous ability to create life. The discovery was just beginning. Dr. Park rolled out a large digital screen. Colorful charts and complex biological diagrams appeared, showing human reproductive systems in detailed graphics. Kim Hye-jin leaned closer, her alien eyes scanning every single detail. "Humans produce approximately 1,500 sperm cells every second," Dr. Park explained. His finger touched the screen, highlighting microscopic movements. Continuously. Without stopping. Hyejin's translator converted his words perfectly. Her brain processed the information slowly, trying to understand something so different from her own species' reproductive system. Most alien species had strict biological rules. Reproduction happened during specific times, limited, controlled, but humans, they were completely different. The digital screen showed millions of tiny cells moving rapidly. Each cell represented potential life. Each cell carried human genetic information, and they were produced faster than Hyejin could count. "How is this possible?" she asked. Dr. Park smiled. "It's just human biology. Nothing special for us. But for an alien researcher, it was extraordinary." The research laboratory felt cold. Metal walls reflected soft blue lights. Complex machines hummed quietly. Computers processed massive amounts of data every second. Hyejin discovered something remarkable. Human males didn't need special conditions to create reproductive cells. No planetary alignment, no specific temperature, no complex biological triggers. She compared human data with her species' records. The difference was shocking. Her species might produce few hundred reproductive cells during an entire year. Humans, they could produce millions in just 1 hour. The numbers were mind-blowing. Dr. Park explained human reproductive biology simply. The human testicles worked like tiny factories, always active, always producing, never stopping. "Temperature matters," he said, "but not much. Our bodies adjust quickly." Hyejin's research showed incredible adaptability. Humans could reproduce in cold places, hot places, stressful environments, calm environments. Nothing seemed to stop their reproductive potential. She imagined scenarios. What if a human population faced difficult conditions? They could still create new life. What if environmental changes happened suddenly? Humans could adapt, reproduce, survive. The digital screen showed genetic variations. Each reproductive cell carried unique information, millions of potential combinations. "Endless possibilities. Genetic diversity," Dr. Park said, pointing at the screen. "We create variety easily." Hyejin's antenna-like sensors twitched with excitement. She was understanding something revolutionary. Humans weren't just another species. They were a biological marvel. Her research notes grew longer, more detailed, more complex. Each page revealed something new about human reproductive capabilities. The laboratory felt alive with discovery. Machines blinked, computers processed data, and in the middle of it all, an alien researcher was learning something extraordinary about human biology. Dr. Park brought more coffee, a strange human drink that seemed to help them think better. "More questions?" he asked. Hyejin nodded. Her brain was full of questions. Her research was changing everything she knew about biological reproduction. She discovered that human males could create reproductive cells even under stress, even when tired, even when experiencing different environmental conditions. Nothing seemed to stop their biological potential. The research was more than just scientific study. It was a journey of discovery, understanding a species so different from her own. Millions of reproductive cells produced every second, carrying genetic information, creating potential life. Humans, always ready, always fertile. A reproductive system that defied all known scientific understanding. Dr. Park watched her work, curious about her excitement. For him, this was normal biology. For Hyejin, this was a miracle. The biological analysis continued, each moment revealing something new. Something extraordinary about human reproductive capabilities, a discovery that would change scientific understanding forever. The conference hall buzzed with nervous energy. Hundreds of alien scientists from different planets sat quietly, waiting for Kim Hyejin's presentation. Her research would challenge everything they knew about biological reproduction. Dr. Park stood at the back of the hall, watching silently. He knew what was coming would shock everyone. Hyejin's holographic display flickered to life. Massive charts showed human reproductive capabilities. Numbers danced across the screen. Millions of reproductive cells, continuous production. unlimited. Potential. Humans can recover populations faster than any known species, she began. Her translator converted her words perfectly. The alien scientists leaned forward. Some looked confused, some looked shocked, some looked angry. Her presentation revealed multiple extraordinary implications. Humans could rebuild their population after massive disasters. They could survive in extreme conditions. Their reproductive system was like a biological survival machine. One senior scientist from the Kalarian Research Council raised his hand. "This is impossible," he said. Hyejin showed more data. Genetic records, medical studies, population recovery statistics. Each slide proved her point. Humans could have babies anywhere, cold places, hot places, dangerous environments. Nothing stopped their reproductive potential. She explained how human males produced 1,500 sperm cells every second, continuously, without stopping, without special conditions. The conference hall grew quieter. Scientists whispered among themselves. Some checked her data. Some looked at their own research. Dr. Park watched from the back. He knew humans were special, but he didn't know how special until this moment. Hyejin's research showed something revolutionary. Humans weren't just another species. They were a biological marvel, a reproductive system so adaptable that it could ensure species survival under extreme conditions. She presented scenarios. What if a human population was almost destroyed? They could recover quickly. What if environmental conditions changed suddenly? Humans could adapt, reproduce, survive. The alien scientists started understanding. This wasn't just scientific data. This was a new way of thinking about life itself. Genetic diversity, continuous reproduction, rapid population recovery. These were more than just words. They were a biological strategy for survival. Humans can create life under conditions that would destroy other species, Hyejin explained. Her presentation showed how human reproductive capabilities were different. No seasonal limitations, no complex biological triggers, just pure, continuous reproductive potential. The conference hall felt electric. Something big was happening. Scientific understanding was changing. One scientist asked, "How is this possible?" Hyejin explained human biology simply. The human body was a complex, adaptive system, always ready, always preparing for survival. Dr. Park smiled from the back of the hall. Humans never thought their biology was special, but now they were proving how extraordinary they were. The implications were massive, a species that could potentially recover from near extinction quickly, a biological system so adaptable that it could ensure survival under any condition. Hyejin's final slide showed a simple message: human reproductive potential, beyond current scientific understanding. The alien scientists sat in complete silence. Some looked scared, some looked impressed, some looked angry. But all of them were thinking the same thing. Humans were different. Humans were extraordinary. As the presentation ended, Dr. Park walked forward. He looked proud of human biology, proud of human potential. Hyejin's research would change everything. It would make other species rethink their understanding of life, of survival, of reproduction. The conference hall remained silent. But everyone knew something big had just happened. A new understanding of life itself had just been revealed. Human, always fertile, always ready. A reproductive marvel that would change scientific history forever. The Grand Hall of the Interstellar Science Academy looked massive. Hundreds of scientists from different planets sat waiting. Kim Hyejin stood near the central stage, her hands slightly shaking. Dr. Park watched from the side, offering a small, encouraging smile. Her presentation screen flickered to life. Massive charts about human reproductive capabilities appeared. Numbers danced across the digital display. Millions of reproductive cells, continuous production, unlimited biological potential. Humans represent a unique biological model, she began. Her translator converted her words perfectly into multiple alien languages. The senior scientists looked curious, some looked skeptical, some looked worried. Hyojin explained how human males produced 1,500 sperm cells every second, continuously, without stopping. Without special conditions. Each slide showed more shocking information. The hall grew quieter. Scientists whispered. Some checked her research notes. Some looked confused. Her presentation revealed multiple extraordinary points. Humans can rebuild. Populations faster than any known species. Human reproductive systems work under extreme conditions. Continuous fertility without seasonal limitations. One senior researcher from the Galactic Research Council raised his hand. These findings challenge everything we know about biological reproduction, he said. Hyojin showed genetic diversity charts. Complex graphics demonstrated how human reproductive capabilities work differently from other species. Dr. Park watched silently. He knew humans were special, but he didn't realize how extraordinary they were until this moment. The presentation continued. More data, more evidence, more proof of human biological marvel. She explained scenarios. What if a human population faced massive destruction? They could recover quickly. What if environmental conditions changed suddenly? Humans could adapt, reproduce, survive. The alien scientists started understanding something revolutionary. This wasn't just scientific data. This was a new way of thinking about life itself. Genetic diversity, continuous reproduction, rapid population recovery. These were more than words. They were a biological survival strategy. Humans can create life under conditions that would destroy other species, Hyojin explained. Her research showed how human reproductive capabilities were different. No seasonal limitations, no complex biological triggers, just pure, continuous reproductive potential. The hall felt electric. Something big was happening. Scientific understanding was changing. One scientist asked, "How is this biologically possible?" Hyojin explained human biology simply. The human body was a complex, adaptive system, always ready, always preparing for survival. The implications were massive. A species that could potentially recover from near extinction quickly. A biological system so adaptable that it could ensure survival under any condition. Her final slide showed a simple message. Human reproductive potential, beyond current scientific understanding. The alien scientists sat in complete silence. Some looked scared, some looked impressed, some looked angry. But all were thinking the same thing. Humans were different. Humans were extraordinary. As the presentation ended, Dr. Park walked forward. He looked proud, proud of human biology, proud of human potential. Hyojin's research would change everything. It would make other species rethink their understanding of life, of survival, of reproduction. The Grand Hall remained silent, but everyone knew something big had just happened. A senior researcher stood up. "This changes everything we know about biological reproduction," he said. Hyojin felt her heart racing. Years of research, months of careful study, countless interviews, all leading to this moment. Dr. Park approached her. "Congratulations," he whispered. "You just rewrote scientific understanding." The hall slowly started clapping, first softly, then loudly, then with complete enthusiasm. Hyojin had done something extraordinary. She had shown the galaxy how special human biology was, how unique, how powerful. A new understanding of life itself had just been revealed. Humans, always fertile, always ready, a reproductive marvel that would change scientific history forever. The presentation was over, but its impact would last generations. The research station felt different now. Kim Hyojin's discovery had changed everything. Scientists from across the galaxy wanted to understand human biology. Dr. Park watched her work. She had become a legend in scientific circles. Her research about human reproductive capabilities had shocked the entire scientific community. "We are just normal," Dr. Park would say, smiling. But nothing about humans was normal anymore. Hyojin's final report sat on her digital screen. Millions of bytes of information, thousands of research hours, years of careful study, all proving one simple thing: humans were extraordinary. The Galactic. Science Council invited her to present her final conclusions. Hundreds of alien scientists would listen. They wanted to understand the human biological marvel. Her research showed something revolutionary. Humans could reproduce continuously, recover populations quickly, survive in extreme conditions, create life without special triggers. Most alien species had strict reproductive rules, limited, controlled, specific times. Humans broke all those rules. 1 million reproductive cells every hour. Continuous production, no stopping, no special conditions needed. The research station hummed with excitement. Computers processed data. Machines blinked. Holographic displays showed complex human genetic information. Dr. Park brought her favorite coffee, a human drink that seemed to help thinking. "Ready for the final presentation?" he asked. Hai-Jin nodded. Her antenna-like sensors twitched with excitement. The Galactic Science Council's hall looked massive. Hundreds of alien researchers waited. They wanted to hear her final conclusions. "Humans are a biological miracle," she began. Her presentation showed how human males could create life anywhere. Cold places, hot places, dangerous environments. Nothing stopped their reproductive potential. Some alien scientists looked shocked. Some looked impressed. Some looked scared. Hai-Jin explained how humans could rebuild populations after massive destruction, how they could survive where other species would fail, how their biological system was like a perfect survival machine. Dr. Park watched from the back, proud of human potential, proud of human biology. Her final slide showed a simple message: human reproductive potential, a galactic biological marvel. The hall grew silent. Years of research, thousands of data points, hundreds of interviews, all proving one thing: humans were extraordinary. "We are just normal," Dr. Park would say. But nothing about humans was normal anymore. The Galactic Science Council gave her their highest research award. The first time an alien researcher received such an honor for studying humans. Hai-Jin's research would change scientific understanding forever. It showed that humans were more than just another species. They were a biological wonder. Dr. Park approached her after the presentation. "Congratulations," he said simply. Her research proved multiple extraordinary things. Humans could create life continuously. Human reproductive systems worked differently. Biological adaptation was their greatest strength. The research station celebrated. Alien and human researchers congratulated her. They understood something big had happened. Hai-Jin had shown the galaxy how special human biology was, how unique, how powerful. Her final report would be studied for generations. A document that changed scientific understanding. Humans, always fertile, always ready. A reproductive marvel that would inspire future research. The conclusion was clear. Humans were extraordinary. Dr. Park smiled. "Want some coffee?" he asked. Hai-Jin laughed. Her alien voice sounded happy. She had done something amazing. She had shown the galaxy the true potential of human biology. The research station continued its work. Machines hummed. Computers processed data. And in the middle of it all, a young alien researcher had changed scientific history. Humans were more than a species. They were a biological miracle. The end of her research was just the beginning of a new understanding.